Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or visit beacongrenada.com.
There's a new way to move in Grenada. Ride Go. Ride Go is here. Ride Go. Where do you want to go?
Yeah. Yes. Welcome to Red Along Live for today. It is beautiful. Yes, it's Thursday. Yes. So you're watching us from all over the world. Welcome to Red Along Live. And as always, we are committed to bringing you programs every day, all day. And when we have programs like this, guys, of course, you know what's happening, right? There always news, update, and information on the platform. So there's always something that you could watch or be a part of on Ride Along Live. Okay. Yeah, man. How are you doing? Before we start, guys, I want you guys to do something for me because I'm always doing stuff for you guys, but I want you guys to do something for me right now. Here's what I want you to do. Quick, fast. I want you to click that share button because today we're going to be speaking with a pollster, and you know how I love polls, right? That's my thing, right? We're going to be speaking to Mr. Justine Pierre. He's a pollster, and he would say he does things a little bit different, right? So we're going to speak about a lot of things because we didn't speak to him after St. Vincent election, so we're going to talk about that, what happened there, and we're going to talk about what's happening in Grenada because the general election in Grenada is constitutionally due 2027. It will be 5 years. It will be the term in 2027. So, of course, Mr. Pierre have been actively involved in seeking out and finding out and seeing where the people's minds are throughout this election period. So he published some information earlier in the year that stated that the government, the NDC government, is about 11, 12 points ahead, right? And he was saying that they are in a unique position, a compelling position, if election was called back then. But Mr. Pierre, his analysis has somehow changed because now he's saying that 11, 12 points lead that the NDC government has subsided, has diminished over this short time. What happened? So we're going to talk to him and find out. All right. So let's welcome on the program right now, guys, as he is a pollster. Mr. Justine Pierre. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, good afternoon, good night. Actually, it is a night where I am in the beautiful island of St. Vincent.
Nice.
And as a consultant, you have to travel. So, thank you for having me and thank you for the government. Then next week we move to Jamaica. We're doing a project there.
Nice.
So I am, as I said to everyone, my name is Justine Pierre. I am from Grenada, went to my old secondary school, GBSS. So hail to everyone. I heard that we came second in the intercall. And in our days, we never came second. We always come first. So
let's put it like this.
Anyway,
let's put it like this.
But thanks to all the GBSS fans. And as I said, I am Justine Pierre. I am a labor statistician by training, and we in our firm we conduct research. So we conduct about 60% of all the research data in the Caribbean. So we have a wide database, but what makes us a little different from most other firms is that we have the largest database of Black, Indigenous people of color in the Global South. So which is about 7 maybe 70 million people. We ask persons 200 questions over a period of time, and people voluntarily answer the questions. We collect data based on about maybe 50 indicators, where you live, what you, all type of questions we ask persons. And for some strange reason, people love to answer questions. And so we have been doing that for a very long time. And in 2015, 2016, I did a course in India, well, online on the subject of sephology. So sephology is the scientific study of elections, predicting elections.
Right.
And I was mind blown. I mean, as a statistician, I could see the numbers. I can see what we do. And from 2015 to now, the sephology has gone a long way, like, 100-fold. So, for example, now, like in Grenada, anyone can do it, but we have done it. We have developed bots. So the bots now go out into the island of Venezuela, in the island of Grenada. So it's like you geofence the country,
right. And
any type of data on politics, on shares, on likes, on whatever goes on, it reports to us at the end of the day. And Meta and all these social agencies have the same information, and anyone could purchase it. And sometimes I wonder why the political organizations do not take interest in this kind of data, in this kind of analysis. And from since 2022, we have conducted upwards of 30 surveys, just on minor things, micro surveys, how people feel. Right. We did one on Emmeline Pierre. We did one on the Prime Minister, on the St. George's Northwest, in different areas. And what we found, very interesting, we conducted what is called opinion polls, about 3 or 4 of them over the last couple of months. And I think we wanted to find out, at the time, the NDC should have called the election earlier in the year. So there was a window between December the 1st and April 30th. That should have been the window for them to call the election.
I want to get into that. Mr. Pierre, because this is some very important numbers in between there that I want to talk about. But before we go there, let me ask you this. How accurate are your polls?
That's a very good question. We are very accurate. We are on a 93% accuracy. 16 out of 15 we have predicted it. 15 out of 16. The only one we did not predict was St. Vincent, and we found that we found out why we were unsuccessful. Normally, like in sephology, you have a certain like a matrix. Okay, we call elections maybe 10 days, 10 days maximum, 15 days maximum before the election date, because swings happen. But in the St. Vincent case, we conducted the study from October 1st to the 25th, and we made our prediction on the 25th, almost a month and 30 days. This kind of broke all rules in terms of sephology. But what we learned a lot from St. Vincent, and what we learned when our prediction was wrong, we had what is called a post-election interview. We called the persons. Hey, you said you will vote there. You said what happened? What happened? And and we got a lot of information that we did not pick up. The issue with voting. Person said that, hey, I lost my job. I lost everything. I didn't take the vaccine. All kind of reasons which we did not pick up. But as scientists, we make mistakes. We are not right all the time. And Junior, in the future, we may make more mistakes, but that's what science is about. Every time we make a mistake, we go back and ask people why. Similar in Guyana. When you were in Guyana, we knew that the opposition, the black voters would have moved to the ruling party. But we were not accurate in the sense, yes, the black people were moving away from the black party to the Indian party, but it was the opposition, not the ruling party. So we had to tweak the algorithms. We have to look at the what is called the or what we do as a company is that we collect data based on something called the IC codes and based on what is called the electoral boundaries.
Right.
So we use the same methodology as the election. So we can conduct, for example, let's say in Grenada, we can conduct find out how many persons are in St. George's, but we could also find out how many persons within the constituency. So, for example, we could also find out how many persons within a polling station. So, for example, their average, let's say, about 983 persons in a polling station. In Grenada, they may have 132 polling stations. You may have an average of 330 houses per polling station. You may also have what is called the a number of cell phone to population ratio, cell phones to constituency ratio, cell phones to polling station ratio, cell phones to house ratio. So all these analytics are there. People could get the data. Anyone can get the data.
Right.
And what we are surprised, John, is that it seems as none of the political parties are taking the time to collect these important data.
Right.
And
right.
that is my biggest concern.
But when you call these people, I know you said people like to answer questions. Me personally, if I get too much calls and ask to kick off a lot of my day, I usually, just push back on it. I'm busy, right? How do you know, one, that these people are actually telling you the truth? Or how do you actually get people's attention, their whole focus to stay and answer 200 questions? You pay them?
No, you're not supposed to pay people. Okay, so what happens is like a census. We every 10 years they collect a census. The census is free. People believe that there is a duty. We have what is called an ideological perspective. Okay,
right.
So we as a black firm operating in Canada, we collect data on black indigenous people of color. For 400 years, no one knew us. For 400 years, we were not even counted. So
right.
people who are black, as myself, and who are conscious, are willing to get themselves registered. So, for example, in Peru, people are picking cotton today as the same as in 400 years ago. There are more black people in Mexico than you have in the Caribbean. And all these people, we want to know where they are, between Alaska and the Falkland Islands. There are like 100 million black people. Nobody knows where they are. Nobody knows what they do. And because we collect data, especially on the labor market, or we want to know what these people are. We want to, they are about 2100 occupations. We want to know what black people do, what they do, so that we could measure them and count them. And this is what we do. This is my quote unquote my political bias in terms of why we collect that. And most people who are conscious like myself would have no problem giving information. And we haven't had many problems doing that. Well, recently in Grenada we have been having problems. People have been calling us, want to sue us, say hi to Miss Cassandra Mitchell and all the others, because people believe that for some reason we are taking information from the government database and but we're not. We're not. We're not.
In St. Grenadines, because people looked and they paid attention at that point in time, where the move and the shift was like, the opposition party at the time is a shoo-in to win. The support was there, but you went against that and you said Ralph Gonzalez was going to win, and he did not.
Yes.
Was that a data error? Was that something specific to data collection problem, or do you see that mistake replicating itself again, or did you fix that issue that arrived?
Well, yes. Well, that's a very good question, actually. Yes, we did. So what we have for calculation. So when we calculate something called the confidence level, okay, the probability of winning. So within St. Vincent, that was over 30 days.
Right.
Nobody does that in a normal polling. Okay, but we went, maybe we were overconfident, okay? But
right.
What we saw, for example, what we learned from that is that anyone from the Guyana to the Jamaica to the Suriname election to Trinidad and Tobago, anyone who leads in the social media arena end up winning the election. We found that this indicator to be throughout every election that we have done. Everyone. So, for example, we met when we as a researcher, as a sephologist, when we got the data, we presented the data to both the ruling party, which is Gonzalez, and the opposition. So we presented to Mr. Gonzalez. We had a meeting with him. Then we presented to a representative board of the opposition. They told us, hey, don't put the press release out. Wait until a couple of days. We listened, and we found that they asked us, what do you need to win? We told them. The Rav Gonzalez section asked us, what should we do to win? And we told them, and at the end, by September 26th, by November 26th or November 26th, the opposition, they had about 970, I think 68,000 minutes of airtime, compared to Ralph Gonzalez party 600 and something. So there is almost a 2-to-1. They dominate social media, and we see that in most of the elections. For example, in Grenada, in 2022, the NDC had over 252,000 minutes of airtime compared to the NNP 119. We say the same thing for Guyana, for Trinidad. I mean, this is a constant indicator that we've seen throughout all the elections. And we're asking persons that the social media is very important, that you must be on social media, because people are influenced by what you say, what you do, the kind of content you have, their like ratio, the share ratio, all of these indicators, Meta and all these people, these things are calculated. And you can get, at the end of the day, you can get a measurement to see how your social media account or feed is doing. Mm-hmm. And that we're asking politicians and political parties to, first of all, conduct surveys. Mm-hmm. Conduct surveys among your own people. Who are your people? And we're seeing that is a challenge in Grenada, because most political parties, in fact, I must say all political parties, do not know who their people are.
Mm. So when you provide this information for political parties, because it seems as if you biting the apple on both sides, you are dealing with the opposition and the government. Well, when you provide this information, are you charging them? Are they paying you for it?
No. How do
you make money? How do you make money from this?
So how we make the money is we write the document, we go into the country, write the document, we pay persons to conduct the enumerators, to do the analysis, and when we get the report now, we charge for the report.
I see.
So international agencies will pay us for the report, and they could just go on the website, download the report, you buy it and use it for your use.
So
for example,
both political party or any political party, party,
yes,
three of them, yes, they could acquire they could hire your service.
Yes, and this is what any of them could download the report
right
on our website, but we haven't. We try to avoid being hired by political organization, because our main goal is for North America. the sephology election polling is a $15 billion industry. There are 5,000 elections every year. So so we are, we're business people. So we try now to tweak our science. And then when our science is good, then we go to America. They say, hey, we have done 20 elections. We have been successful 93%. Give us an opportunity to conduct a poll on for your mayor's race, for your judge's race, for your, all of that, and this is where the money is. So all of this in the Caribbean is just, piloting.
Oh, data collection.
Yes.
So earlier this year, we saw you made a post in regards to the position of the NDC. You said that they are in a good position if election was called today. How did you come to that conclusion?
Okay, well, that is good. So what we have what is called a data portal. So we have about, let me see, about less than 11,000 people in Grenada who subscribe to the portal. We have it based on countries, 70 countries, people, and we ask them questions within their portal. We also have used a combination of software tool. We'll use SurveyMonkey. I mean, most of you all would have seen a questionnaire about the leadership of the NNP. We will have Survey Solutions. We have it's a World Bank product. We have a Survey Solution portal or Qualtrics and another survey line. So we use a combination of surveys to get data from the population. They answered. And then we analyze the data and we publish the data as a goodwill. Because what we find is that we want to, according to the university, we want to develop the science of sephology in the region. It is not, the science is in its infancy, but election is the most important decision someone citizen can take in a democratic country, and yet people are not good at it. They're not making a good benefits of it. So, for example, Junior, if I were to ask you, what's the average age of a NNP supporter or NDC supporter? You don't know. What's the average income? What's the average children? How many of them have a mortgage? How many of them drive a car? How many of them travel? How many are the single parents? None of these indicators, none of them know. Not any of, very few of these political organizations. And this is what we want to know, and this is what we research.
Well, the question is, what is the characteristic of an NNP supporter and an NDC supporter? Because at the end of the day, is Grenadians only looking at political party? For instance, what I'm saying is, say you live in a constituency, and that particular constituency or that representative in that constituency no longer appeal to your needs or your family needs or your wants or whatever the case is. That person very easily support another political party, but the characteristic is still the same. They drive the same car, they stay in the same house, all of that stuff. So how do you categorize a person in that sense?
Very, very good question. Okay, so in every country there's what is called a unique voter universe. So within Grenada now we have calculated there are 21 voter universe. So to understand the likelihood of someone who will support a political party,
right,
you have to get them interested in a specific universe. So, for example, if I were to ask you, who you prefer, let's say Gary Gary or Bishop,
right?
Or I could know what kind of political party. Okay? If you're a supporter of Innocent Belma, okay. I mean, I could tell you where I can get an idea. So by asking these questions,
right?
If you support the union, what is your affiliation with the Mongoose gang? You know what I mean? I mean, I could. So all of these comprise part of the voter universe. So by asking these questions, by pointing these questions, you could know where a person is, what a person supports.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how we use our an analysis to determine what people who people vote for or persons'
Do you see
preference.
that being constant all the time? Do you see a particular person, say for instance, someone might support Gary? Do you see that play constant straight through for the rest of their life? Like they will support it, their kids will support it, their family will support it. Do you see that constant?
Well, yeah, about 70% of the time, we find that people vote according to tradition. Okay, so what we do, for example, we will look at the decision maker in the house,
Right.
because every house has a cell phone, and you go after the decision maker, and the decision maker will tend to influence the others.
Right.
So what we know for sure, like in Grenada, there is so let's say the let me look at an indicator. So one of the indicators is let's say education attainment. So we know that around 9% of persons who support the NNP are degreed per person, meaning they have a first degree, compared to 17% of NDC supporters. So most NDC supporters are quote unquote more educated, okay, than the general population.
Mm.
So what we have seen over the years, okay, from the NDC messaging is that they cater a lot for the educated people in terms of the language, in terms of where they from the data. The NNP now would 7% of NNP persons, 99% of NNP persons are degreed. So you find that most of the NNP messaging will cater for people who are not as educated. However, listen, about 63% of the population are on the non-degreed people.
Right.
So look at the messaging. So all of that you have to understand how
Right.
you make how you message. In fact, I want one of the political parties was saying that there was this rally because we try to tape what goes on in the political space. So there was a rally, and a guy said that the meeting will be postponed until a further notice.
Right.
Okay, postponed. That's like a sophisticated word. But later on, he corrected himself and said that the meeting will be put off. You know,
So they probably dumb dog the whole
pro-sport. What kind of pro-sport is? Who are you talking to? You talking to the NDC supporters, but you realize that his supporters were NNP. So he has to change the words and put off. I had to put off the meeting for next week, and everybody understood what you were saying. So that is the nuances you have in terms of election and your messaging. So the voter universe now captures that type of information.
I see.
So you also realize that within the NDC, so within the NNP, so there is a block of persons
Right.
that consistently support the NNP. So when we went on the ground in 2022, we conduct the focus group, and these people consistently, a block of about 15,000 of them consistently support the NNP.
Right.
And these are things you have to understand by survey and research. But what we have seen is that most of the political parties do not conduct research. They are not into it.
Right.
Okay, and from our experience, we have done over 300 researches. We have conducted more research. I mean, not myself, but we have conducted more research than any Grenadian alive. Okay,
Right.
This is what we do every single day. Right now, we're doing about six survey projects.
Right.
So the NDC and the NNP have to now take this thing seriously, because with regard to December, okay, imagine that in December, the NDC had a 12-point lead. Okay, so if they had had the election, they would have won the election. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So But I have some friends, I mean, that who are NDC supporters, and they say, Dr. Pierre, well, we have to wait until we do some road work. We have to wait until we put Project Polaris, did some projects and this and this and this. Listen, I want to know who advising these people. It's not a good idea, okay? Listen, as Barbados, okay?
Right.
A slim margin. If you have an advantage, you call the election. Antigua, if you have an advantage, you call the election.
Right.
You cannot wait to your objectives.
Let me just put something in
Yes.
there. So we have the DPM, which is Peter David's
Yes.
party, and you have the NDC. Could it be strategy? And I'm just asking that for general sense,
Yes.
right? Could it be strategy that the NDC is saying a stronger DPM is a weaker NNP? So allow DPM to gain momentum, to pull more votes away from the NNP so that they would be in a better position. Could that be strategy?
Well, that's why I always ask, who advises the NDC? That's a bad advice, okay? You are not interested in the DPM, you're interested in winning.
Right.
Doesn't really matter.
No, I'm not saying that is their strategy. I'm just saying.
Okay. So let's look at the data. Let's look at the data. In the last 30 years, 204,000 people have cast the vote for the NNP. In the last 30 years, 204,000.
Right.
Okay. In the last 30 years, 174,000 people have cast the vote for the NDC.
Right.
So you know that there are more NNP supporters in Grenada than there are NDC supporters.
Okay.
We know that in 2022, about 3,500 persons, staunch NNP supporters, voted for the pension. They voted for something called the transformation agenda, and that was big. Doing things a new way, and they voted for the contract to permanent workers. That's the three major things, which was most important. These three items took up 63% of all the decisions of all voters. And the pension, and as we see that, based on indications from a contact I have, that the majority of persons who receive pensions are NNP supporters.
Okay.
So what we're saying is that there is a window of opportunity, and that window of opportunity, you have to take advantage of it.
Right.
And what we're seeing is that the NNP had a window, the NDC had a window from December 1st to April 30th to have the election. And that window is closing, and it's closing rapidly. After Hurricane Beryl, the Prime Minister had the highest favoritism rate of 80%. Today, he's, as of April the 1st, he was back in the mid 60s. He always had high favorability ratings. But favorability ratings alone cannot win the election. He's very popular. Remember that. He's, look at him, sexy, well-dressed, good chin, clean chin, he's a superstar. And people like him. The ladies like him. But most important, and that's for the other party, the section of the population that likes the Prime Minister the most are not necessarily the voters. But the largest percentage of people who love the Prime Minister are the people who are under the age of 18 years. 74% of these young people love him. So could you imagine if the Prime Minister wins the next election? He'll stay maybe 5 to 10 years, okay? Because the younger people are liking him more and more. And this is also something good, something that the other parties can be aware of, so that they have to strike hard. So the Prime Minister his popularity, he had 12 percentage points, okay, in December. And that is depleting month after month after month. Now in March, you had the DPM, they had the rally. NNP is practically campaigning every day. They have all the full slate of members. And where is the NDC? Okay, it is almost a statistical dead heat. And I said, well, how could someone not see that? Where are the advisors? You cannot blame the prime minister. You have to, the burden has to be placed on the foot of his advisors.
So what and how, on what areas is the DPM strengthening? And what is the cause of this strength from your perspective?
Right. So yes, as I said, what we found is that for some strange reason, we don't know why, the under 40. So when we conduct our study, we divide the population into just two sets: those who are above 40, those who are under 40. And we find that there's a higher percentage of persons under the age of 40 that have some type of affinity to Peter David. And we want to know why. I do not know in terms of his address to the people, how we speak to people. I don't know why, but a lot of younger people I find have kind of affinity, kind of a likeness, kind of favorability with Peter David, and his messaging is good, and he has to be taken seriously. And
what about so much people saying, well, listen, third party candidate don't work, third party situation don't work, they go belly up? What makes
who said that? I mean, as I said, what I find is that a lot of people say things that they do not know. The YouTube is not, or social media is not political school or law school. For example, in the 60s, they had like 3 or 4 parties. Some parties merge, and you always have that. Right now there are like six or 5 political parties. You have the NNP. Sorry, you have the NDC, the NNP. You have the DPM. You have the GULP. You have the PNP with Lacrette. You also have a new party with the Grenada Social Democratic, something like that. That's 6, and there'll be more. But
I didn't hear about Lacrette. I haven't heard anything from Lacrette.
Well, I mean, he registered a political party.
Yeah, I know that. I know he registered a political party. I didn't hear anything from him after that.
Yes, So and that is why we are asking people to take this thing seriously. Conduct the research. Every political party should conduct their own research. Okay? Because it's important, because you need to know who your members are.
What's the characteristic of an independent? Because we know, well, at least I think I know, that your staunch supporters is not really who take you to win an election. You need the undecided. You need these people in the middle, because we even in the United States, you already know New York is going to go Democrat. You already know California is going to go Democrat. They already know this, right?
Yes.
What is a little tiny village in somewhere in Georgia, which will decide the fate of the election? So, what is the characteristic of the undecided?
Right. So that's a very good question. And in our 2022 report, by the name of 9-6, we gave a detailed analysis of who are the persons who abstain from voting. So, for example, there are 5 categories of persons who do not vote. 1, the most religious people do not vote. You have the Rastas, so they do not vote. You have the farmers, the fishermen, the taxi drivers, taxi bus drivers, and some of the indigents, people who maybe might be in a mental situation. Some of them may not vote, but we also see that 11% of those people who do not vote have 14% of people who do not vote have no political association. But 11% of those people who do not vote use the voting card, the ID card, as a form of ID. So they're not interested in voting. So you have to understand these things. And remember, the biggest challenge to the NNP is not the NDC. The biggest challenge to the NDC is not the NNP, but the biggest challenge to the NDC and is the non-registered voters, the people who register to vote and they do not vote, because they're a large percentage, 20-something% of them.
And do you have any poll to capture that number and see where they're going, who they're looking at, who they're eyeing?
Well, we are looking at that. We knew from 2022 where that we knew how many persons, an idea, because as I said, we asked people, because as long as you are on social media, okay,
right,
you can get tagged. So obviously, if you have a white shirt, I mean, all these things are everywhere now. Artificial intelligence take you up. If you don't believe me, try. If somebody, let's say somebody wife or husband go missing, the first thing that a person will do is to contact the husband, and you'll see how many times he Google how you kill it. So I mean, we know all of that. So what we're saying is that we have to now, and that's where research comes in. We need to know that. We need to know that. And the challenge I get, I mean, you see what happened to me, is that people are afraid to ask these questions because they do not want to be singled out. When you ask questions, people come against you and people, attack you. But what I'm saying, I'm a researcher. That's what I do. There's no Grenadian that conduct more research than myself. There's no Grenadian. And we have done it not only in Grenada, we have ddone it in Antigua, we have done it in Guyana, we have done it in Suriname. I mean, tens of countries. We have done it for PAHO, Government of Guyana, CARICOM, the World Bank, everywhere. And don't take it personally. It's not to say that I'm against the NNP or against the NDC. I mean, I get it from both sides. In 2022, I mean, when I said the NDC would win, I got it from the NNP. And now, but see it as research. It's research. It's sephology, and sephology is the science of predicting elections. And this is a new science that is in the Caribbean. And so far, we have a very high success rate. But what we want to do is to make it available to people. I've reached out to one of the universities to look at it, to see it, because it's important. And elections is so important to us because it determines our future.
Yeah. So what is the current situation with the NNP? Are they weakening? Are they strengthening? And what is the cause of their weakening, or the strengthening at this point?
That's a very good question. In my opinion, we've done a leadership survey on the NNP. We found out that the NNP is strengthening. It's gaining momentum. I mean, you could look at the algorithms, okay? You can see how the NNP is gaining momentum. The NNP is literally campaigning, okay? Remember that the NNP has a larger percentage of voters than the NDC. Remember that the NNP takes up a higher percentage of person in the elementary and workspace than the NDC, and the NNP is increasing. They basically they have had some leadership issues, but they're getting themselves back in order. And we need now for all political parties to get themselves in order, because election will be called this year. Because if the longer the NDC takes to call an election, it will be the more difficult for them to win. It's like in 2022, we want the NNP should have called the election between February the 1st and March the 10th or March the 5th. That was the window, because based on our econometric calculations, they did not do that. So, for example, if the NNP had called election instead of June 21st, instead of June 23rd, but they had called it July 23rd, they might not gotten any seats. Okay, because there's a momentum. There's a momentum there because the Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell and his gold jacket. Like hundreds of thousands of views. People just it just because the Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell came up with a new type of messages, a new in terms of using the internet, the social media as a form of connection, and and he's very good at it. And what but what we're seeing is that we've seen something over the last 4 years that we have not seen before, and that is the population is seeing a difference between Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell, the NDC party, his ministers, and the NDC government.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, his popularity has is around 67%. Okay, the government performance is about almost above 55%. The party's performance, it's just under 50%. The minister's performance is over 50%. So people are now seeing Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell as a different entity to the party, to the government, and to other ministers. And this is something that we have never seen in previous elections.
I see. So So let's talk about now the situation. NDC is they are in a position where you say that they're losing that time frame in order to call the election, right?
Yes.
Why do you think that they have not yet done it, and what would be the optimum time for them, based on your analysis, for them to call election to make it favorable to them?
Right. Okay. So now, for example, I mean, look at the economic situation in the world. The world is changing. If they had called the election earlier, they would not have been having that challenge now. I do not know what is the main reasons why. I'm not an advisor to the government, but they must have some type of reason. I mean, reason that I do not know. Or people in the circle do not know why they are postponing. One of my contact is saying that they want more projects to come on stream, and I'm saying that if you're waiting for more projects to come on stream, that's not a good idea. You have to, if you winning an election is based on your margin, your popularity, not on the projects. Because what will happen? More the NNP persons will support NNP. The NDC people will support NDC because you have your base. The NDC has a base of about 26,800, but it has increased over the last 4 years. So let's say 30,000. Let's say 28,000. The NNP also has a base, and you realize that if all NNP voters vote and all NDC voters vote, most likely the NNP would win because the NNP has a larger voter base than the NDC.
I see. I see. So they're in a position right now where you're saying that they're running out of option. The time is running out for them
Yes.
to do so. And that you saying is favorable to the NNP. Now,
Yes.
how favorable is it? And I asked it before in a kind of roundabout way, but how favorable is it, or who is it favorable to with a stronger DPM?
Well, yeah, I believe that everybody would be affected. Okay, the DPM, as I mentioned in my October article, the DPM would be like the kingmaker. Okay, we see that we expect that the DPM may get about 2 or 3 seats. We see that there's strong favorability in St. George's, but I must also say that from the analytics that we're seeing, from that Senator Claudette Joseph is increasing her popularity in the tongue of St. George, and this is the first time we're seeing that in about 3 years. I don't know what she's doing, but whatever she's doing, she has to keep it up because her momentum in terms of just as like and share, but we look at like, share, how many minutes you spend on an ad, her constant posting on Facebook, her explanation of the situation with Project Polaris, all of that is gaining a lot of momentum because she's a lawyer. She's very eloquent. She can speak well, and Grenadians love bright people. Okay, I mean, she's bright. She's educated. Peter is bright. So so we see that her algorithms, her momentum is she's gaining momentum, and this is very good for her. And this is the first time we're seeing that in almost 4 years. And she was in the shadow of Peter David, but now she's like finally say, hey, I can take it on myself, and she's working hard. And congratulations, said Senator Joseph. And so we believe that we've seen now Ali Gill in St. John's. So that is a very particular situation for both the NNP and the NDC. We also see now Stanford Simon in the St. George's North, Southeast. That's also articulation. So there is a lot of opportunities. So the DPM would be a factor for everyone. And to say that the DPM will affect the NNP, that is not based on, I don't know what is based on for myself, someone, I'm a statistician, so it's not based on evidence or so it's just based on opinion. It will affect everyone.
So based on your current analysis and where we are right now, when do you expect that the Prime Minister will call election that would be advantageous to the NDC, based on all your numbers and analysis that you're crunching?
Well, yeah. If I was the Prime Minister, what's the Constitution say? The Constitution says what, 21 days?
Somewhere in that range.
Right. So 21 days from now, because the window is closing.
No.
It's because there is listen, it is a statistical dead heat. The NNP has catch up. Like, I mean, sometimes I want to know, if these people look at what is going on Facebook, and because the algorithms are there, anyone could buy it. You could buy it. You could see what is going on. You can see how many supporters of the NNP and the NDC. You could see it. Everyone can see it. So why they are not seeing it? And that is because we look at it. Okay. We look at it. You can get the constituency riding. How many people within each constituency? Okay. So I don't understand. So if they were looking at it, if they were advising the Prime Minister properly, they would have said, Prime Minister, you see what has happened. Then you have a 12-point lead against Emlyn. The DPM is not up and running. They don't have the convention. Have an election right now. Do as Gaston Brown.
Yeah.
Yes, on
Yeah.
Barbados. Election right away. Do as Phillips in St. Lucia. Have election. But what they're waiting for, we don't know.
Interesting stuff there. Pierre, I thank you for your analysis, as always, sharing with our audience here. And probably they should, a couple of them should hire your services.
No, listen, no. But listen, because listen, this is science. This is what is called sephology. And it's not polling. We're not polling. Okay, I'm not taking a poll of the past. This is sephology. This is science. This is algorithms. This is mathematics, political science, sociology. This is you're using algorithms. It's broader, and it's highly technical. And this is why we are asking every political party, the NNP, the NDC, the DPM, the GULP, every political party to conduct a survey of all your members and see who are your members, what issues drive your members. This election will be an election based on issues.
Right.
So what are the main issues? So in Grenada now, there are 23 challenges that is in the country that has to be resolved. Okay, and we have to find out all the issues. So imagine that I had on record I'd said that the NDC should have gotten 2 consecutive terms, okay, in order for them to fulfill the mandate, because you cannot really fulfill a mandate in 5 years. We saw that in the 22 election, what drove the people was obviously their pension payment, but what was the most important, the idea of the transformation,
right,
changing the way we do things. And what we have seen is that this transformation in 4 years has not materialized. Okay, yes, it has not materialized. The whole idea of changing people from temporary to permanent, they got to work on something, come up with something, okay? Because the time is running out. If you wait until 2027, there'll be more and more mistakes. We're asking election should be called in 2026.
I hear that.
It should be called. It must be. Well, I cannot say it must. I don't have their data, but it should be called. If the election is called in 2027, the biggest it will be the biggest disadvantage for the NDC, because as I said, we don't know what will happen to the prime minister, but even though he's popular, he's very popular. Okay, he's the most popular person most political leader in the Caribbean. If you go on my LinkedIn page or companies, you will see I did an analysis of the prime minister and in terms of his popularity, and you see how popular he is. In terms of his popularity ratio is very high. It's about almost 70%, almost on par with Mia Motley and Kamala Passad. They are all very, very, very popular. And if he does not, if something like that does not happen, we'll have a very, very different elections.
Well, it's a game of wait and see what happens.
Yes.
Yeah. Justine Pierre, thank you so much for joining us and giving us your analysis on this. Yeah, we'll wait and see if the numbers pan out, as you say. And thanks again, my brother. We definitely and certainly will keep in touch.
Thank you very much. Okay?
All right.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thanks.
Absolutely. Yeah, guys, chatting there with Dr. Justine Pierre on the science of election. It's not polls. It's much more deeper than that, as he says. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. You're watching Right Along Live.
Hi, I want $10 on Playway. $20 backup on pick 3 and cash for each, please.
Okay, are you adding multi-X to your bet?
Yes, multi-X, all of them.
Smart! Best value bet. Backup and multi-X. You cannot go wrong.
Don't matter the bet, multi-X all of the daily games.
With multi-X added, your winnings can be multiplied 3 times, 5 times, even 7 times. So make it a rule. Add multi-X to all your playway, daily pick 3, and daily cash for bets every day and for every drop, and watch your money grow. Available at stores and online.
You heard it here. Multiply your winnings daily. Must be 18 or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
There's a new way to move in Grenada. Ride Go. Ride Go is here. Ride Go. Where do you want to go?
Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or visit beacongrenada.com.
Yeah. Guys, it's about to be silly season. Election is in the air. We already saw political parties starting to campaign. It's about to be silly season. But I got to tell you about this, guys. Don't forget, Marriage Matrix, guys, presents the Great Marriage Reset. Yeah, the Great Marriage Reset teaches you how to restore and renew and rediscover love. Yeah, this amazing event is happening from May 28th to June 2nd at the beautiful Royalton Hotel in Grenada. Yes, you got to check it out. You could register by going and emailing Marriage Matrix, that's Marriage Mechanics, MECHANIX @gmail.com. That's Marriage Mechanics @gmail.com. We have such an outstanding group that will be here to talk about this and to support and show you how you could rediscover, renew, and restore love. Yes. Also, guys, let me tell you about the Grenadian Diaspora Homecoming 2026. Now, this goes on from June 21st to July 5th. Let me tell you something. I know others say others overhype, but you see this? The Grenada Diaspora Homecoming event, series of events. It's not one event, you know. It's just a welcoming the diaspora back to Grenada to be a part of everything that's happening. It's about reconnecting, collaborating, and celebrating your Grenadianism. Yeah, man, your Grenadianism. And businesses, you can be a part of this too, because it's all about showcasing the services that you provide to the white diaspora community. Remember, Grenada has 110,000 people on a good day. But when you look at the diaspora, we probably have over 200,000, 300,000 if you check second and third generation Grenadians. So it's a lot of people, a lot to reconnect. I ain't talking about the millions, probably. If you look at fourth and fifth generation, you never know. Everybody have a piece of Grenadian in them. Yeah, so it's all about Grenada Diaspora Homecoming 2026, June 21st to July 5th. You got to, you have to, you must be a part of this. Yeah, you need a taxi? Like, I'm talking to you. Yeah, you right there. Yes, I'm talking to you. Don't just watch the TV. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You got to check out Ride Go. Ride Go is a taxi service like no other, guys. This is a taxi that comes to you, pick you up anywhere, take you anywhere. It's your own personal driver. Download a Ride Go in the App Store. Go to the App Store. When you need a taxi, just press where to put your location, and a taxi will pick you up and take you wherever you need to go. It's Ride Go. That's where you want to go. Ride Go. You can download Ride Go from the App Store. Hey, the Ride ATV is on, like a boiled corn. Bye. Book your Ride ATV tours right now at ride.gd. That's ride.gd. Book and go. Ride ATV. Let's go. Yeah, guys, so I keep telling everybody, see election coming around the corner. Well, we don't know yet. We don't know when the election is going to be called. We don't know if it's going to be this year or next year. But don't lose friends over politics, right? Don't lose friends over politics. Yeah. Don't lose friends over politics. It's not worth it. When you're fighting for politicians and them sipping wine and thing, eh? And you they fighting and creating enemies. My people. Anyway, guys, gotta say thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of our program today. It's Right Along Live. Don't forget the marriage mechanics opportunity to restore, renew, and rediscover.
On Saturday, May 16th, Brooklyn will come alive with live acoustic performances from some of Grenada's top local acts, setting the stage for an evening that celebrates culture, cuisine, and community. Set in an atmosphere of refined elegance, guests will enjoy a curated Caribbean culinary experience. The evening will also feature a special keynote address by the Honorable Dickon Mitchell, Prime Minister of Grenada. This premier fundraising affair promises an unforgettable experience where flavor, music, and purpose come together for a truly meaningful evening. Tickets are available now on GoToFate and Eventbrite. Secure yours early and be part of an extraordinary night. Spice Indulgence, an evening of heritage, connection, and impact.
Yeah, Spice Indulgence. Gotta check that one out, guys. Hey, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of our program today. We appreciate you. It's Thursday. Thursday? Yes, it's Thursday. Damn. Wednesday or Thursday? Guys, is it Wednesday or Thursday? Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program today. Catch you guys again mañana. Peace.